Avindu, welcome back. Rehearsal Pro, KMP, continuing on. From where we left off, the replication, we need to rewrite this. We're rewriting it. We started to rewrite it, and we need to do more rewriting of it. So, there it is. The so is always there. I just took a drink of coffee. Sorry for the pause. Domain replication line set. If the line set is not the same, it's going to start syncing, which is what invokes the download. So we take a look at this. The download begins when we start to sync. Not there, but here. There we go. Download cloud line set. So until we get this call, we're not going to be getting any of the audio files for the line scenes that are contained within the line set. However, noticed a definite shortcoming here, and that is, in fact, let's go ahead and go into this. Okay, so we get here, and he's going to say, is it the same? And the answer is going to be yes, it is the same. And the reason that's the case is because we go over to the Kotlin code and we see that we compare these new attributes, replica local to replica remote. If they are the same, they are the same. And they are the same according to when we initialize them, we establish them, that the modified date, we set them to the modified date. So if the modified date is the same. And the modified date is only on the line set. The line set has a collection of line scenes. Each line scene has its own modified date. That's what we're looking at here. It has its own modified date. It also has separate dates for the actual file. So this modified date's for the metadata here, which is just the JSON. And the modified date is the actual audio file date. Now notice that we're simply comparing the dates of the containing set. We're not comparing anything internal. So returning true isn't quite true here. It's not quite true. This is a classic situation of replication where you have containers and contained items, parent and child relationships. And to say that the parent is the same is only true if all the children of the parent are the same. In this case, we're not checking that. So we need to cascade down this comparison of dates all the way through the children to say whether or not the aggregate is true. The original code had an attribute, an attribute. Actually, let's see what the original code looks like. Do a git show. It's not what we're looking for. Where is it? Original code. We are in line scene reader view. There we go. Is completely synced. So I replaced is completely synced with same. Now, if we look at the old code for is completely synced, we're going to find that in the dead folder. Let's go there. Line set plus flags. This is the old dead code, and is completely synced. Where is it? Okay, so there's these flags in here, but it's not the completely synced. Okay. All right, let's find that. Let's do a good old find grep star all the source that contains is completely synced. Where is it? It's in line set core data class. Okay. Here is completely synced. Where are you? I'm guessing this is what's going to cascade down into the line sets. No, all it does is it just checks the sync status. Sync status synced. Which is here. sync status, is synced object, has updates on server, needs status. I don't see it cascading down into the line scenes. But it must do that at some point, I would think. Has updates on server. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Wait. Has any updates on server. Has updates on server. Has line updates on server. Has line updates on server. Is now it's actually iterating through its line scenes and now checking if those are synced. All right, so this is how it cascades down. Really clunky, as we can see. Calls is completely synced, which checks the status, which checks has any updates on server, which checks has any lines on server all the way down to here. Has updates. Notice this. Has updates on server, has any updates on server, has updates on server, has line updates on server. So this implies the parent only, right? Comparing modified dates. This implies parent plus child. This specifically looks at the children. So that's how this works. We are not going to duplicate this exactly. We're going to try to simplify this a little bit, but essentially the same logic. So back to line scene reader view. So we replaced same line set. So our definition of same is going to be is completely synced. It's going to match that. Now, right now, we're passing same to this generic function that I created called domain replication same. And this generic function doesn't know about any child relationships. So here's an example, again, where it feels like I overgeneralized too quickly. Let's ungeneralize it. It's so hard to fight that reflex. I've got decades of use to thinking about how to generalize every line of code that I write. And it's a reflex that's hard to break. But the proper way to go is make the specific code, and then when we get, we find multiple instances of a specific logic that can be generalized, then to generalize, not to generalize up front. So let's go back to domain line set. We're going to say, should we say same on domain line set? Why not? Let's do that. This is specific to line set, which will then, it can use this domain replication same as well as cascading down within its children. So let's do that. So domain line set, since we didn't, let's say replica, same replica. Replica same? Replica same. Let's do that. Same is a little too generic. So there's established replica. Yeah. Replica same. Same replica. Well, this is a noun and this is a verb. This is establish. I could say replica established. It doesn't really change anything. It just produces a new version. Don't really like the asymmetry here of established replica, replica same replica. I like prefixing each one of these things with replica. Replica established. Let's keep it established replica. This is more of a verb because this is going to take a immutable input dictionary, produce a new dictionary, potentially, well, that's interesting. Oh, that's right. This is going to be independent because adding to a map in Kotlin, as we looked up, is independent. So if they're already there, it'll go ahead and it'll reestablish them based on the modified date, which is fine. And it's producing a new copy. So establish replica, replica same. Breeds like a noun. I think that's fine. Okay. And this, instead of producing a new replica, same is what it's returning, which is a Boolean value. So we'll go ahead and use the generic domain replication, same. So we're not going to duplicate that code. But we're also going to say, and now we want to cascade through our children, making the same call. Domain replica same. Oh, let's make sure we copy this in our dictionary. All right, so that does that. But now we're gonna cascade. How do we do this? What is our relationship to line scenes? It's a sub-dictionary within the dictionary from a JSON standpoint. But we already have this function, which will give us the set lines. So that should be fine, right? So that's what we're going to add here. We're going to say domain set lines given ourself, domain line set lines. Okay. Now we're going to map. We're going to map over the map, or we're going to map over the array. What does it return? Returns a list. We're mapping over the list, which is fine. And let's just call the same domain replication same on the child. So this isn't really a map. We're not returning a list. We're doing a fold or a reduce. We're effectively going over each individual one, and we'll say fold. Fold implies, as you can see, fold right, so the implication is fold left, but we don't really even care. The initial is going to be true, because if there are no children, then, yeah. This is that weird syntax in Kotlin of the function being, why is my keyboard suddenly not working? Okay. All right, so fold true, that's the initial value. Then we follow it by the lambda. And in this case, the lambda, keep getting thrown off between Kotlin and Swift because they represent their lambdas differently. What is the syntax? Is it do we say line, like item, and then it's this guy? Or, oh God. Let's just look at a lambda so I can remember the syntax. It is, yeah, it's the arguments followed by an arrow, followed by the body of the function. So, yeah, so it is line. Don't think we need to give it a type, because the type should be inferred. And we're going to fold. So we're going to take, oh wait, it's got, this is a fold. So it takes an initial value and it passes both the value and the line in, and the result is the value. So what's first in the fold? It would be probably the previous value. I'm assuming that Yeah, let's see. Line, comma. What are we looking for? We're just saying truth. Same. We're going to call it same, right? Line, same. So we're assuming same is true. Should look something like that. And I think it wants me to put the function as like that. And we're not using this, so we're saying domain replication same line. And we're saying same n. So if it hits a single false, it's always going to be false. That's how it's reducing this down. And same Boolean found map string. Okay, I got it backwards. Same. So the accumulator is first and the item is second. There we go. That's what it looks like. Yeah, see, I don't really see such an advantage to this little syntactic sugar right here, where when the last argument is a function, is a lambda, that you can because this is how it would look otherwise. Like, what is the huge benefit of this syntax? I actually find it confusing, because when I look at a lot of Kotlin code where last arguments are lambdas, it just looks like a function body or another block, and it's not obvious to me that it's a lambda. You literally have to know the signature of the function to realize that to some degree. But this is what it's saying. We prefer you to do it like that. I find that confusing. I'm not going to use it. I don't like it. I don't care if that's a Kotlin recommended way of doing it. To me, I can see all the arguments within the parentheses. Maybe it's a list bias, but yeah, and it's going to complain. It's like, oh, lambda argument should be moved out of parentheses. Why? Why should it? Why is the compiler telling me I should format my code a certain way? It's going to make absolutely no semantic difference doing it one way versus the other. This is a stylistic preference. Why? Also, it formatted it for me the way I thought it should be formatted. God, I don't like that. So so the choice is either live with it or look at this squiggly yellow line every time I'm looking at the code. I wonder if it's going to generate a warning when I compile it. Let's see what more actions is. Can I disable that? It's like telling me how to write code. Sorry, I don't want my ID to tell me how to write code. Not interested in that. Okay. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to see if I can just live with the squiggly line. Maybe I'll change it at some point. So what do we have here? We're cascading down through our children, which are these set lines. We're calling the same domain replication same on it. Now, I in my brain immediately goes, oh, I can generalize this by passing in essentially this fold as a separate function to domain replication same. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just stick with this for now. Is this going to work? This is then going to come down and compare modified dates. But notice that when I establish the replica, I'm doing it off the modified date for line set. I don't have established replica for line seen. So I need to create line scene's established replica, and I obviously need to call it. So we put it in, let's put it at the end here. So this is now domain line scene established replica. Or rather than doing this, since I've got the comparison, whoa, what happened there? Oh, my fingers keep kind of switching between Android Studio's sort of IDE mouse control with actual Vim bindings, which I have set up here. So establish replica. Now here's where it gets complicated, because our replica idea now has two attributes it needs to compare. It needs to see if the audio file is different or the date of the metadata is different. The date of the JSON is different. And if either one of these is going to be not matched, then it's not going to match. This file is treated as, so I need to do a couple of things. Well, let's just go ahead and do domain scene modified date. I don't feel like I'm writing more code than I need to. I could roll up this logic completely within here rather than treating line scene generically. I could just put the logic of comparing its modified dates and its audio dates directly. But I also need to do that on the individual lines. And do I really need this domain replica same if all I'm doing now is comparing dates? I don't need to do this replica thing. Well, this was, again, built for the future when this replica attributes are going to be different than the dates. But for now, they are the dates. So, again, I'm coding forward into an anticipated future that might not exist. I can always redo this. Let's get rid of it. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to keep it here for possible future. But I'm not going to include it right now. Do what I need now and do the future if I need the future. So we're not going to do a comparison based on these replica attributes, which means we also don't need to establish for now. I keep switching between mouse and keyboard. All right. Yeah, I should just be working from a terminal window. Right. So instead of saying domain replication same, so this is kind of that same any updates. It's really going to be same all versus same. I'll probably end up going back to the generic at some point. So same is just the line set, same all is everything it contains. All right, we're going to copy this logic to here. And now we're going to do modified date. And, oh, right. No, I do need to do the establish. Yes. There's more to it than just comparing modified dates. Right, because modified dates serve, yeah. Okay. Let's go back to what we were doing. Now this is important, because the difference between local and remote is determined as part of retrieving for the remote and changing for the local. So I do need to add separate attributes. Okay. Kind of forgot why I was doing this in the first place. Let's keep this intact. So domain replication same is generic. Replica local, replica remote. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So domain line scene, domain line scene, where do we go? Domain replication, same. All right, so this is what we need to do differently. Instead of using the generic here, we're going to call domain line scene replica same. And here is where it's going to compare both its attributes. Got it. This is making more sense. Okay. Line scene replica. There's established replica. We're going to put replica line scene replica same. We don't need the all. Now it's where we compare our own attributes. Then we're going to compare the attributes of we don't need a fold here. Now we're going to compare the attributes of the audio modified date. But the problem is we've got the same problem here in that we have one attribute coming back from the server. That represents the server's value, the remote value. We also need an attribute for the local value in the case of creating a new one, or in the case of establishing it. So it's almost like we need to treat the audio with the audio file with its own. Yeah, we need to add another attribute. So when we establish replica here, we need to also do it for the audio file. So we have double replicas. It's a special case. So here we're going to say audio. Let's actually, sorry, remote audio. Let's put audio at the end. Local audio. And now yeah, but there's the else. Okay, dict plus the plus that plus that. Why is it giving me a bunch of errors? Can I say plus and then say plus again? What's the problem here? Do I have to wrap this in parentheses? What am I missing? Too many parentheses. Final parentheses? Okay. All right, and now scene audio modified date. We have two sets of replica attributes, the remote for the metadata, the local for the metadata, the remote for the audio file, local for the audio file. That's why this is different. It can't be generalized the same way as line set. Otherwise, it looks pretty much the same. So here where we're saying replica same, it's going to compare that. But now we have to do a special case. Yeah, it's kind of ugly. It's like, what is this thing even really buying us? Doesn't feel like it's buying us a lot. Domain replica same. All right, domain replica same. All right, we're just going to copy this logic. Why don't we just copy the whole function? I could pass in a suffix as an argument. Am I overgeneralizing? But then I don't have to have a separate function or a repeated expression. I could do that. Is this too ugly? Just trying to avoid having more functions that I need. Suffix equals blank. Do I have to put in a type if I put in an initializer that has a type? Do I have to say string? Kotlin can't infer that should be a string from the string initializer in a function declaration. Really? All right, we'll just say string. And then we'll do plus suffix. Well, plus suffix. Why doesn't it like that? What are you complaining about now? Concatenation can be converted to a template. What? Is that more efficient to do string interpolation? Is that what it's telling me, that that's more efficient? I don't see how that's more efficient. This dynamic string is going to get parsed at runtime, isn't it? Or is this going to be parsed by the compiler and it'll simply translate to this? I think this is a stylistic thing again. Because obviously, this string literal concatenation operator, or the plus operation, which is concatenation, plus a string variable, the compiler is going to generate that exact specific code. Append this variable string to this literal string. It's going to do the same thing here after parsing this. I would think this induces more overhead because it has to parse and go, well, this is a concatenation operation. Now I'm going to produce exactly the code expressed by this the code of this expression. Is for some reason this faster? But this is a stylistic thing. I'm just going to keep concatenation in there. I feel like I'm getting too many style recommendations. I don't see how this compiler is going to be faster. Even if the what they calls the template expression, what I call string interpolation, interpolating, regular expressions or meta characters within a string, and doing substitution, that's string interpolation. Even if it does that at compile time, it's still going to generate effectively the same runtime code, which is, because this is a variable, it has to, a variable concatenated to a literal to produce a new variable. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it like that. Okay, so here we're overgeneralizing a little bit. That way, we can call the same function and pass a suffix. And now we can pass the suffix audio. So when we ask to replicate, if the replica of a line scene is, now it's going to compare the remote and local of the modified date and the remote and local of the auto modified date. We do need to make sure we call this, otherwise these attributes won't be set up. And I'm going to put this on the next line just so we can see. I think it's a little more readable when these are lined up like that. Domain replication same, domain replication same. So we have a special case for each class because there's some variability here. And this doesn't need to be same all. And we don't need this. So using the generic function, we're saving some code here, making a little bit less code. We have two special cases, one for the line set, which cascades down into its line scenes. That's what we see here using a fold. And here's the special case for scene replica, but it's essentially reusing this common logic, which always compares replica remote to local, which we have for line scene. We have it for line set. That's what establish is doing here. But this builds this additional set of replica attributes specifically for the audio file itself, and we include that in our own comparisons. So this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad. I like this. Right? So how many functions do we have to add for this? We've got the establish, we've got the compare, or we've got the check for same, we've got the establish the replica attributes, check for sameness, a generic check for sameness that's reused 3 times. So that passes the dry rule at least 3 times the same code. Although I guess this could be argued that it's not quite the same. We've got an unnecessary concatenation happening, but again, this is not going to be in a high bandwidth part of the code. This is not going to be a bottleneck. Okay, I think that's not too bad. Line this up a little bit. I like lining up my code in ways that, this is why I'm not a fan of auto formatting. I know I'm going against the grain here. But yeah, I am against the grain. All right, let's compile this. We're making some progress here. Should compile, even though it complains about our style, our coding style here. Both cases. It's like, I want you to do this a different way. Still compiles. All right, most important, we've got to make sure that the line scene established replica gets called. So where we establish the replica for line set, where it pulls it down from the back end, we probably have to do the same thing for line scene. So let's see where we called that. I'm pretty sure I know where it is, but we'll use our find grep to find it. And well, that's not what's actually getting called. That's the adapter. Establish replica, lowercase. All right, script scenes JSON, but that's good. It reminded me that we needed to add this to the adapter. So every time we're calling any of these Kotlin functions from Objective-C, we've got to create an adapter for the function. Kind of annoying, but all the Objective-C code will go away eventually, which means the adapters will go away as well. And most of the Swift code that's doing these calls is going to be replaced by pure Kotlin code anyway. Gotta wish I had my Vim bindings on this side. I gotta use mouse. All right, audio file name, establish right. We're gonna keep these in alphabetical order because the adapter is just an adapter. So now we're saying domain scene. That feels very boilerplated to me, doesn't it? It's exactly the same. The exception is it's scene instead of set. And then we want to look at script scenes JSON. Boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. All right, we're looking for established replica. Here it is. All right, so we get the line set. We establish a replica. Now the line set JSON that comes down includes automatically all of the line scene stuff. We don't do a separate call for that. So I may be able to do this entirely on the Kotlin side, because it's one big block of JSON for the line set and all the line scenes within it. Now, obviously, the audio files are separate, but the metadata for the audio files, which is the line scene data structure, is included. It's not going through and iterating over those. I don't believe. Let's see. Line scene. That's interesting, saying log line scene synchronizer, even though it's talking about line set. That seems wrong. Well, I don't care for now. Again, this code's temporary. 5 matches. Yeah, it's weird. Line scene synchronizer. Looks like it just didn't get updated. Okay, here we go. Parse line scenes. Now this has been deleted because this is part of the update code that originally does it to core data, and I'm not keeping it as core data. But notice how parse line scenes, it's finding the JSON already in the line set. So yeah, I don't think I need to do establish replica, at least on the remote side from here, meaning the call here to establish replica can go through its line sets. It can fold through its line sets just like the comparison operator did for same. Establish replica. So I can repeat this fold operation. Yeah, I think I can. So establish replica does this. Oh, wait a minute. Huh. Okay, so here's where you get, these are one of the tricks with functional programming using immutable data, where you have large data structures and you're going to make modifications to the data structures into a new copy. And some of those modifications are down the hierarchy of parent-child relationships. I'm going to create new children with new replicas. That new set of children is going to get added to this. Yeah. Okay. So again, we're going to add to the dictionary. Yeah, I'll think about this for a second. We're going to add our own children, in this case, domain set lines plus TL. So as we can see up here, that's our child collection of lines is TL2. We're going to take the original domain set lines from our dictionary. So this would just copy this would replace the existing one with the existing one. Okay, this is weirdness with the something's weird about these parentheses. There's an if expression. I don't get it. Yeah, that's not right. I think I screwed up on the other one. I think I have to do this. What is it? Why is it complaining? A top level declaration. I'm missing something here. This is a single expression, right? This is a single expression. In fact, let's do this. Just to test my theory here. Let's put this one first. So this is a dictionary entry right here, a map entry, key value. In fact, if I get rid of these, this should be legit, right? Why is that not legit? What the hell's going on here? Why does it not like that? Isn't that the same as what I just did? Type variable plus pairs. How does this look different than that? Well, oh, domain set. Probably because I didn't complete this. Domain set lines. Domain set. Domain line set lines. The wording of this. Okay. All right. That works. That makes sense. I guess it just didn't parse the full, and then I could do another plus here, right? Okay, why does that not work? What am I missing? Can I not do one after another? Can I do a plus followed by a plus? Doesn't like that. So that's where I was wondering if I'd have to wrap this in parentheses to produce a result. It doesn't like that. Why doesn't it like that? Why can't I do a subsequent add, expecting a top-level declaration? Is this a compiler problem? If I apply this plus operation to the dictionary, it'll produce a new dictionary to which I should be able to apply a subsequent plus operation to that dictionary, producing another dictionary. Why can't it deal with that? This is weird. It's fine with that. In fact, I could wrap that in another set of parentheses. Right? Has no problem with that. Dictionary plus dictionary, dictionary plus item, new dictionary, new dictionary, new dictionary. So these are redundant, obviously. What if I, weird. What if I say dictionary plus dictionary? That's okay. What if I say dictionary plus item? That's okay. What if I say dictionary plus thing to something plus? That's okay. What am I missing here? So I can sequence these plus operations, one plus another plus another. But if I do that, whoa, it doesn't like it being on a separate line? Seriously. I think I just uncovered a Kotlin compiler error. There should be absolutely no difference between these two. Look at that. It got confused just by adding a new line. Add a new line, and it's like, I have no idea how to parse this. Probably has something to do with the fact that I'm using the equals. What if I turn this into, let's turn that into a squirrely block. Still having trouble. Look at that. Compiler bug. That's a parsing bug. In Kotlin, this white space should not be significant. It's not. But I put a new line in there. It doesn't like it. Interesting. Okay. What if I put the plus and then the, yeah, look at that. That's interesting. That's interesting. I caught a compiler bug. Or the pre-parser that the IDE is using, I assume is going to be the same as the compiler. I mean, I could run this from the compile line, but I'm not interested in solving problems with Kotlin parsing at this time. Okay. So I've got to put the plus on a separate line, and then it's okay. Wow, look at that. That's weird. That's pretty weird. Okay. So what we're really going to do here is here we're going to establish the replica for each line set. So we need this, we need the fold. Okay. So, yeah, the same fold here. It's not a fold. It's a map. Collection to collection, not collection, not array to scalar, but array to array. List to list. Okay, so we're using map. It's not a fold, so we don't have an initial argument. And again, it's going to be like, I want you to not use the parentheses and line. It's not line, it's, yeah, a line, which is a, I mean, it's a dictionary. It's a line. The line is another dictionary. So here we're going to map to domain line scene establish replica. Okay. Line. Do we not have that? I think we have it. Establish replica. Domain line scene establish replica. Domain line scene establish replica. Doesn't like, what does it not like? What do you not like? I need another, all right. And then I need the plus on the same line. Okay. I put it down here and it chokes. Doesn't like it. Wow. That is a glitchity glitch. All right. So we know it stylistically hates me because I included the parentheses unnecessarily. We can syntactic sugarly the thing. Why doesn't it like line to line? Domain lines is going to return, oh, no, but I'm mapping over a list of a map to string to any, which is another dictionary. I could say line dict, and I'll just call it line. That's fine. Establish replica line. It's acting as if it's not type matching. Oh, remote not local. Right, I need to pass that down. Good. Yeah. Critical, remote not local. There we go. All right. So we establish the replica for the line set. It goes through its domain lines, establishes the replicas for each of those, which is going to set our proper replica attributes for both the audio file and the metadata. Correct. And that'll produce a new collection that will replace the existing collection, and then we'll add replica for ourselves. A lot of copying of data, but you know what? This is not that much data. We can always profile it, and if it's a bottleneck, we tune it, rather than assuming it's not going to be fast enough. This is going to be plenty fast. The nice thing about that, though, is this is now makes the established replica call we're making do all the work for us. So on the iOS side, yeah, establish replica is being called. It's gonna, this is good. We're moving most of the code now over to Kotlin. This is the idea. This is the KMP approach. Our new code this is going to be common code on both sides. So less work to do on the platform specific side. So we don't need the adapter. We started making the adapter thing, at least not right now. When we get into establishing the replica for the local, we may be doing that on an individual line set basis. When we actually record new audio, we're going to go out and say, for this line set, do it. So we may need it, but we don't need it at this time. So this is the only established replica call that we have. This should work. This should work. It's going to go out. It's going to establish replica for remote, meaning replica local is going to be 0. Well, no. Replica local is going to copy the same value, but it's not going to have the file. That's interesting. It's going to say my local modified date is the same as my remote modified date, but it's not actually going to have the file. So the audio modified date should be 0. I have the JSON because I'm getting the JSON, but I'm not yet getting the actual file. So I'm thinking this audio modified date on the local side should be 0. Unless the file is actually there. Wow, this gets a little trickier. This isn't going to quite accomplish what we want, but let's compile it anyway. All right, compiles on this side. We're going to compile it on this side. See what happens. We actually even change any code over here? I don't think we did. Nope. Oh, wait. Yep. Yeah, we had to change to make the generic call to the specific call. So domain line set replica same. Yeah. Build failed. No. Did we not change the adapter? Oh, we didn't add it. Okay, so we still have the generic guy here. I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to delete it, but I will delete it if we don't use it. Replica same. So we need the adapter. Replica same. Replica same. I don't like putting is's in there. I know it's the standard, but it just feels awkward to me. Is. Replica same. Domain line set replica same. All right. Maybe I should back off on the is thing. I've got so many quirks, don't I? Suffix is needed because optional arguments, or defaulted, I should say, defaulted parameters on function declarations on the Kotlin side. So this is where is it? Here. We have a defaulted parameter. When this gets translated to Objective-C, the defaulting is lost, so it expects us to pass something. So we'll just pass the same default, blank. Oh, yeah, of course. Swift is very verbose. Okay. Let's see what we get. I think we're going to have the same effect. We're not going to quite pull off what we're hoping yet. We have the line scene metadata. I am willing to bet it's going to jump to 612. No. It did not. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, there's replica local. There's replica remote. All right, so let's look at the actual elements in here. 10 elements. All right. Replica remote, replica remote audio. Ooh, look at what happened. Ah. The plus, okay, we need parentheses around the dict. Uh-huh. And then where's audio? Okay, so audio replica, local audio. Okay, that's why it doesn't match. Ah. But otherwise, it's going to match and it shouldn't because there should be no local modified date if the file isn't quite there. So there's a difference between the date being different and the file existing. I gotta look at the legacy code and see how he's handling it. But so this was the thing with the pluses. We need to wrap that with that. No, that was fine. It was up here that we had the problem. Now notice how the plus is okay. Oh, that's right, because I was going, oh, I think my parentheses are in the wrong place. But no, the problem is the plus sign has to be on that line. Right, so there's 2 here. There's an expression inside here. Then the plus sign goes there. Then there's 2 here. Yeah, I thought I had the wrong parentheses in a certain place. Okay, so if right. This, yeah, that's how I screwed it up. That it can't handle. It can't handle. It needs to not have a line break. I know I keep harping on it, but it's just beating up on the Kotlin compiler guys. They probably fixed it since then. I'm probably on an old version of Kotlin here anyway. I haven't upgraded in a while. So maybe that's a bug that's been fixed. All right, that should solve that problem. Well, it solves the problem of concatenating all these 2 dictionary entries together as a single entry, which is what happened there. But we're now going to match. We're now going to be same, and that's not what we want. We don't want to be same, because we don't have the file. But we can also inspect, we can now inspect line set and see those attributes in there the way they're supposed to be. Here we go, here we go. All right, boom, boom. And now we're gonna hit 612, I predict. Yes, what does it collapse there? Something weird. All right, so let's look at our line set. There's our replica local, there's our replica remote. And then if we look at the actual line scenes, of which we have 10. All right. Replica remote audio. Replica local audio. So in this case, if replica local audio was 0, it would say, oh, those files aren't there. I need to pull them down. Is it as easy as simply, in this special case, saying if it's remote, if it's local, I'm going to set local. If it's remote, well, wait a minute. I am just setting remote. Why is it setting it local as well? All right, I'm confused about something. It shouldn't have both sets of attributes. local should be 0. Because I am telling it just set the remote, right? Whoops. Let me think about this. It's like it's getting called for local. I feel that it's getting called for local. And it shouldn't, right? It's just going to do one or the other. It's not going to do both. Establish replica, it does one or the other. Why do I have both? Good question. Where was it? Script scenes? Let's just do our search again. Aha. I'm doing it twice. The second time is setting the local. Okay. Here's where I can say local only for the JSON, but not local for the audio. Yeah. That will solve the problem. That will solve the problem. Establish replica there. And then, where's the second one? All right, my eyes aren't seeing it immediately where it is. Replica. Oh, this is the local. Oh, in the create. In the create, it's basically saying, okay, I'm creating it locally. Got it. It's where, oh, it's where it actually retrieved the wait, script scene, JSON. Let me just see both of these. Establish replica. No, replica. Okay. There's the first one. There's where it actually gets it from the back end. So this is where it's been retrieved. The cloud line set, it says, okay, we're establishing remote. Establishing remote, not local. Remote, not local is true. Then as we go through and we're creating, we're not really creating. Well, we are. We're storing the JSON in a local file. We're storing, right? So we're creating for the first time. We're not doing an update here. We're creating every time. And we're saying now we're setting the local replica. So remote, not local. So not remote, but not, meaning false, is the local. Right? It's a little awkward, but that's kind of how I do it. So in this case, we want to say, look, this is just for the JSON. We don't have the audio file, so don't set the local replica for the audio because we don't have it yet. It should remain 0. Now this call is getting passed in. So line set maps through its line sets and calls establish replica. And he's passing the same thing. He's saying not local, right? It's local now instead of remote. Should I just assume that local only sets replica but doesn't set audio? I think so, because I think that has to be done. We have remote audio when it's remote. Okay. This is a little weird. Should I pass another argument? Remote, not local audio? Remote audio only? Well, let's just do what works for now, and then we can figure out how to super modify it. So now I've got an if completely outside. So the if logic, instead of just switching keys, is going to be whether or not there's even an item there. So here I do need to wrap this in parentheses. And now I'm going to do a let. There's a funky thing in Kotlin, which is, oh God, I've used it so many times and I've just forgotten. It's not let, it's a test. It's not if let, take if, that's it. Take if, there we go. Yeah, so can I put this on the next, let's see if I can put this on the next line. Actually, yeah, we should put it on the next line anyway. Should do that. Okay, now we're going to say take if, and then the expression is our test here. If remote, not local. So we're not going to set replica local audio here. We're going to leave it out. It's not even going to be in there. We're cascading through and setting local, but we have to make a separate operation for set establish replica audio as separate. Because I know I'm going to need to call it separately. Let's do that. Let's do that. I know I'm going to need to call it separately. So why do you do that to me? I thought I turned off the auto formatting garbage. Yeah, I hate that. I don't like an IDE that's auto formatting for me. Sorry. I like to be responsible for my formatting. We're going to do this. Right. Yeah. Or am I making this hard on myself? Let's copy this. We're going to make it separate. Then we don't have to worry about combining keys. Okay. If else, I don't know if you're following what I'm doing, but it'll make sense in a second. Okay. So that's its own, it's completely own separate. Right. Exactamundo. So instead of take if, we're going to do this. We don't need to, oh, we still need to do this. No, we don't need to do this. Yes, we do need to do this. It's a dictionary. Yeah, we still need to do a take if. Yeah, we still need to do the take if, but it's going to be written differently. So the first expression here is producing our new dictionary with the new attributes in it. And we're either going to just use that as is. God, stop doing that. God, it's so annoying. There's a setting in there to auto crap. Auto. Code completion. No, just turn this shit off. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. Well, I don't mind the suggestions. I just don't mind it. I mind it code editing. I mind it auto doing crap. Auto reparse delay. What the hell? How do I turn it off? Just turn it off. Live edit. I don't know. Right. I don't know. 3,000, 100,000. Stop auto reparsing. Code editing. Show documentation, I'm okay with that. Specify refactoring options in the editor. Inline dialog for local variables. I don't know about that stuff. Auto. Smart keys, is it smart keys? No, don't close. Don't close block comment. Pausing for a second. All right, continuing. How do I just kill all this auto crap? Don't want it. At some point, I'm just going to get out of Android Studio and just do this straight from Vim or Emacs. Reparse. Insert. Is there an insert? Editor. Auto import. Insert imports on paste. No. Oh, never. I don't like that. Update imports on paste. You can ask me, that's fine. Show auto import tip. So show suggestions is, yeah, that I don't want. There we go. No, stop doing that. Do not insert parentheses for me. I'd really get compiler errors. Let's try that and just see if that solves the problem. Are you still going to keep doing this? Yeah, this is annoying. Stop it. Take if. All right. The predicate. No, I think I put an expression. Oh, this is an example. This is effectively a lambda, but what it really should be is a lambda that looks like this, right? And this is what's going to be a stylistic difference. So take if we get the it becomes the passed in argument. In this case, is the dictionary. But we're not using the passed in argument. Our predicate is remote not Boolean, remote not local. Right. So only on the remote are we going to, so only if it's remote, take if remote. Yeah. So take if remote. And it becomes an it. If it's remote, we're going to let it become plus. Actually, we're just going to make the call to domain line scene established replica audio. Oh, why did it do that? Jesus Christ. I'm really getting annoyed by this editor. We're calling the guy below. We're passing it, remote not local. I know it's a little confusing, but I'm going to explain this in a second. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to close out this let, and we're going to put the Elvis operator in, and we're going to return it. Boom. All right. Oh, this is that compiler problem again. Ah, it's so fucking annoying. Sorry for the curse. It's really annoying. Yeah, look at that. I put it on the next line. It can't deal. It just can't deal with this. Wait, no, that's a different problem. Oh, because I'm doing the take if on that. Okay, let's try that. Still can't deal with it. So weird. Wow, he's got a real problem. So I got to put the take if on the next line. Oh, I can't handle that. What is going on? It just does not like the way this expression is being parsed. No? Something else? Wow, I don't want to have to use intermediate variables, but I will in this case just to prove the parsing problem. I like tacit. Let result equal, how about this? Let result equal that. Okay, let's get the right number of parentheses here. Maybe it's because it's having trouble with semicolons. I don't know. So there you go, intermediate variable. What the hell? Probably because of all this stuff. I think I have to comment it out until I get it parsing correctly. I don't like this. I don't like this IDE. I really don't like it. Okay, so what's wrong here? Do I have to say return result? Am I going to have to say that? Return result? What is going on? What am I missing? Wow. Expecting an element. That matches that parentheses. What the hell? Is it because it's on the next line? What is going on? I'm really confused now. Let's go back to where we were. What is happening? What's going on? What's missing? This matches this code identically. This matches this code identically. What is the problem? Yeah, look at that. It's like, oh, there's something wrong here. No, there's nothing wrong there. There's nothing wrong there. Amazing. Okay. We're going to wrap this. And we're going to see if it's going to compile. Yeah, there's some confusion here. The parser that the Kotlin plugin parser or whatever's going on it can't deal. It's confused. All right, so we don't need intermediate variable. I think this take if is going to work fine. I would prefer to match up this parentheses. Let's see if I can do that. I mean, I know I often don't line up parentheses, but in this case where I've got the take if, in fact, let's just do this, just see if it compiles. It's still going to complain. Editor's still confused, thinks there's a problem here. But compiles, okay. Don't trust the editor. So now we're going to say take if. We'll go ahead and we'll do it their way. Remote, not local. And when you get a take if, you either get you get the left-hand side of the expression passed or a null if this is false. So that's why we require the Elvis operator at the end. If it's null, then it's simply going to be it. This becomes it. The left-hand side of the expression and all these scope operators become it. And it can be passed in if it's used as part of the predicate. In this case, we don't care about the it in the predicate. And the it that we're taking rather than the null is going to be passed to this let, becomes the next it. So it's still the same it. And this will be the result of the expression, which will pass the dictionary we just concatenated in to add the additional attributes. This should work. It's a little more readable. Let's see if it compiles. Nope. Type mismatch. It's looking for the nullable attribute. Which one is the question mark? Take if is true, let passes down here. We have an it, otherwise it. Where's there a question mark? Third type. Let's just put these on different lines, just so we can see what the problem is. Oh, it has a question mark. Why would it have a question mark? Why would this be nullable? Take if is going to take the result of that and pass it into the it. Oh, I think I remember. You've got to do question mark let. Yeah, this question mark has to match the Elvis at the end. This is basically saying if it's not nil, let. If it is nil, the original, yeah, okay, yeah. I haven't used this take if in a while, so I kind of forgot how that worked. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Unresolved reference to it. Kotlin take if. T predicate, T question mark, returns this value if it's, yeah, da, 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 da. I thought it would give us an it. I use take if. I've used it a lot. Oh, yeah, I know what I have to do. I think this kind of shows why Kotlin isn't ideal for tacit functional programming. It's possible, but I have to do this. Let. Now I get an it. Now I say it take if, then it. Like that. Okay, let it, which now it matches what was passed in. Then I do a take if, returns a nullable. I don't think I need the let, do I? No, I do have to pass the let. Right, because I'm doing an if. Well, this is take if. Maybe I don't need the take if. Maybe if it would be better. Yeah, the take if is, it looks awkward, doesn't it? What if I just say if? This probably. Yeah, let's do that. A take if is just not working the way I want it to be working. And then I don't need all this crap. It's a little more straightforward. And then we just say else it. Okay. That makes more sense. I'm just trying to be tacit. I don't want to have to create an intermediate variable, right? So let implicitly matches the left-hand side of the let expression to an it, to an implicit it. I mean, we can, this is, the it is implied. And then we say if remote local, then take it and add this other thing to it, otherwise pass it. Okay. I get a little crazy with the take if. That's a little more readable, isn't it? Got two ifs in there. If else, if else. So if remote, let's walk through the logic here. If remote not local, if we're remote, we're going to add the JSON replicas, the metadata replicas. And if we're remote, we're going to add the audio replica. But if we're local, we're only adding this. We're saying you're setting it local, but that doesn't apply to the file unless you call directly down here. So when we actually go out and grab the files and they're stored locally, then we'll make a direct call here to setting local. So I won't go through this logic here. I know this is a little awkward, but it should work. Let's make this line up a little bit better. All right, all right, this should compile. Yes. All right. See how much gymnastics I have to bend through to make things tacit? I'm weird. Okay, that worked. Now we're gonna see, it's gonna do what we want. Please do what we want. And then I'm gonna take a break. Might end the video for today. I'm gonna keep working, but I think I'll stop the video. You guys don't wanna watch this forever, do you? Is it entertaining? Is it educational? Is it useful? Is it pathetic? Okay, boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right, I predict, oh, I see, it's a line wrap here. I predict we're gonna hit 609 instead of 612. Yay! Now let's look at the line set. Okay, we've got, line set's got its replica remote because we got it from the server. Then we stored it locally, so we set replica local to match the server. So same, that's fine. When we look at the line sets say, we got a replica remote as part of the JSON. Because we saved this JSON with the file, we got a replica local that now matches the remote, so that's same. And we also got from the server the replica for the audio. But we didn't save any local audio file. We didn't actually retrieve the audio file. It wasn't actually provided as part of this get, this remote get. So we're keeping track of the remote has this timestamp, but we have nothing for local. Locally is not stored. So it's telling us what we want. We've got the line set metadata. We've got the line scene metadata. We do not have the audio file locally. It needs to be retrieved. Start syncing. This guy's going to go out and start downloading. And when it downloads, we should have the actual file. And then we'll update the local audio. We need to add the code to update that local audio. When we do the comparison of same, domain replication, domain replica same. Remember, if the attribute is not there, it'll default it to blank. So because there's no replica local audio, it's blank, but there's a replica remote audio, which is not blank, doesn't match, therefore it's not the same. Make sense? All right, makes sense to my brain. Let's go. Let's go. We're downloading line sets. Finally, we finally got here. And here's the sync, the old sync logic. In fact, this is exactly where index of line set, chosen row. I don't know about any of that. But now we've got the line scene synchronizer. It fired up. It should be running. Let's just disable this and see what happens. Download cloud. Well, it's not going to do anything at this point, but it's going where it needs to go. It's going where it needs to go, but it's not doing it yet. So more work yet to do. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to pause the recording. I might come back and continue the recording, or I might not. If I don't see you again, I wish you the best of luck.